everyone, welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and it is Make It Mail It Monday. And you know, I'm going to get started on these September cards. And actually, when I pulled out this paper pumpkin box, I was thinking it was time for October birthdays, because I have a granddaughter. My youngest one is going into the 6th grade this year. How did that happen? So I guess, as I work on breaking down the paper pumpkins, we're just going to make punny cards today and see what happens. So let's get into it. Oh, excuse me. I've had a nap. Honest, I have. If you've been to my channel before, thanks for coming back in. And if you're new, I hope you'll come back because there's always something different with themes going on here in Kelly's Creative Studio. So here we go. This is called Lots of Pun. And the reason it's called Lots of Pun is because there are punny sayings in the stamp set. Thanks a bunch, peel better soon, celebrate, go bananas, let's grow mold together, a toast to your success, you tell the best, yolks, have an excellent day, excited for you, I loaf you. So let's see what they put together. Now the thing with paper pumpkins is they're an all-inclusive kit. The only thing you might need is a pair of scissors. And that's it. If you're new to paper pumpkin, you will receive an acrylic block with your very first stamp set, or with your very first kit. And all the stamp sets in the paper pumpkins are designed to fit this block. So this is the only block you'll ever need. It comes with everything you need. Oh, excuse me. I know yawning is contagious, and I hope I don't set anybody else off. I don't know what's going on. But everything else is included. Embellishments, inks. Now this had an ink pad with it, and I'll look to see which color they recommend, because I had gone through and pulled all the ink pads out of my paper pumpkins to get them organized. So we'll look at that one in a minute. But we have the embellishments, the directions call for twine, we have dimensionals, and we have glue dots. They also include all the envelopes that you'll need to coordinate with all the cards. And I think for the most part, I'm going to do a bunch of these up and get them out of the way. So we have yellow cards and envelopes, and of course you can mix and match them as you want. So we have that set. Then we have any die cuts that you might need, and they're already die cut. All you have to do is punch them out, just like these. Banner pieces we might need. I'm going to take these out of the bag and set them over here. Here's more of the card bases. And it looks like we've got, then there's more of the punch outs. And we have, see, these I think go with the tan on these because of the watercoloring. We have punch outs to use. Here's the rest of the card fronts to go with these three. So it looks like we are making 3 cards of 3 designs for a total of 9 cards. Chipboard, if you're a junk journaler, hang on to these. You've got ready-made covers. Love those. And then we have the direction sheet that tells us everything we need to make these cards. The first one is hello. The banana's got glasses on it. Isn't that cute? Then we have the cherries with faces on them. And we have the eggs and the toast. So let's start with the very first one. And what I like to do is I like to get an idea of what I need for each one. Let me move my mat so when I sit down, I know that I'm going to be in frame. Okay, if I stop on my mat there, I know I'm in good shape. Okay, the other thing that it requested that we don't have pulled out yet, it tells you on the back what all is included. And this uses early espresso, it looks like. So I'll go over here to my neutrals and pull out an early espresso stamp pad, because I have everything in spots. I don't have any. I have 2 standard size, but only one. But all the rest of them are in spots. So we have our early espresso ink, and I'm going to move that. Okay, so it says for the very first card, we're doing the cherries. So it looks like we're going to need. And I like to kind of look and see what we've got. Here we go, right in front of me. We need the cherries from off of the punch outs. And there are 2 sheets there. So remember, we're making 3 cards. And I'm probably only going to get 1 card made today, just because I'm trying to get in the swing. And I'm moving a little slow. So we need this. We need one of these banners here. And I could probably do this better if I put my cheaters on so I can see. And we're using one of these here. And that looks like that's all we need. Okay. We need the cherry stamp set off of here onto our block. And see, everything is step by step here, so I'm going to need that. I'm going to need one of these windows fronts from off of here. And let's see, what else do we need? It says we need faces. Do I see faces on here? I do. And it looks like we're using those frowny face ones. And they're just tiny, so I'm going to pull in another. I could put this on here. In fact, to show you that this is how easy this is. I'm going to put it up here in the corner. And we are going to stamp on those cherries. So that's the first thing we need to do, is stamp on our cherries. So I'm going to, and always remember, stamp to pad, not the other way around, and you'll get less ink impression around the outside. And this one I got to take the glasses off for. Up or down, up or down. So let's stamp him right there. And we're going to do him again on the other cherry, so they match. Okay, so now I've got that one. And I'm going to put him back over here on the pad. I'm stuck. Okay, and then we're going to do the cherries right over top. And it might have been easier if I'd have done that while it was still on the big paper, but we'll see. In fact, I have a piece of this mint tape. No, that's not going to work. I guess we're just going to have to hope we don't move. And we're going to stamp. I get my fat head in the way, and we're going to stamp right over top. And this is where a Misty or the Stamparatus would come in handy. But see, I did manage to offset that a little bit, but not too bad. That's doable. I can live with that. So that's all we're going to have to do for the stamping right this minute. I'm going to take my stamp cleaner pad, and you could use a baby wipe. This is another thing they don't include, but you could use a baby wipe and do this. In fact, I have a baby wipe pad right over here next to me that I can wipe that off with. Put this back. I'm trying to get really good at putting stuff back. And the sentiment, they say, is that's the pits. Where is that one? This one right here. I'm sorry, that's the pits. And it will go this way and match, and this one gets stamped on this blue strip. That's a really tiny blue strip, but we got this. So we're going to ink it up. I have a massive amount of paper pumpkins that I'm trying to get used up. Now I'm going to stamp this on here, but I'm going to move it closer to me so I can see what I'm doing. because it's a very narrow spot there to try and hit that with. There we go. There's that. And then I'm going to hit this with the cleaner really quick. Since I don't have a wet baby wipe handy, just my dry pad. And that will take care of that. Put this one back on the paper pad. Whoops. And then we are done with these. And I can set those off to the side. Okay, now we need to put, I'm trying to figure out which, guess we're doing those on the white front. Okay, they go on this one. And you can see the watercolor mark in the back. So I'm going to take and I'm going to score this. Now remember our tip from Ardith was to score on your fold, both on the front and on the back, and your card will lay flatter. I thought that was a really good tip. Okay, so we have this piece, and we need our dimensionals. And I hate it when the paper comes off first. Let me grab I love these little stylus from Dollar Tree, the picks. Now Stampin' Up! Does sell a stylus tool. It looks like this. And then this is interchangeable with a flat paddle on the back. But I usually have this one handy because I use it for just virtually everything. I bought a lot of stuff from Stampin' Up! When I was a demonstrator that I probably would not have bought otherwise, but I bought it to show you guys. So, okay, so then this, we're going to peel the papers off the back of our dots. And we're going to square this up right there. And you see how we've got a little bit of that shadow going on? And make sure you're opening from front to back. Make sure your cards are not backwards. That looks about right. Okay. And then we're doing a couple of dimensionals on our cherry. Now see, those are awfully big. I want to use the small ones on that. As opposed to taking time to cutting the small ones, or cutting the large ones down, I'll just use their small ones. I love the small ones for tiny stuff, and I usually order these in multiple packs when I order. And we'll do that just like that. Pour that off of there, that off of there. So it is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. Remember to thank any of our hard workers out there for what they do to keep our country running. Okay, then we have this, and it looks like we're putting glue dots on the back of this one. Oh, we have two of those. We have two different ones there. There should be a sheet of plain white ones, and I don't see those. Should be a sheet of plain white. And all I see is the chat ones. Let me see here if I'm missing something. We have the browns and the greens. We have our fruits and our fruits. We have those. The only ones that I see are the chat ones. I don't see any plain white ribbon ones. Let me get into the bigger picture. Doesn't help. And see, I was clipping right along and doing so well that I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not going to worry about it. Don't mess with me. Okay, this one also says that it needs to use twine. See, it shows a plain white one, and I don't see a plain white one there any. Aha! It's not plain white, it's the vellum. It's the vellum. So we need to put glue dots on the back of this one. This would be a fun thing to take, like, to a family reunion. Occupy the kids, get all the moms to order a kit ahead of time, and do this on a family reunion. And I'm going to lay this one on the black so I can see it. And there's not a lot of space there. And then you could gather all the kids around a table and get them all putting everything together. And every kit every month is different. Okay, and then we need glue dots on the back of this. Sometimes it's easier to look at the picture and see what they did than actually follow their directions. Okay, was checking to make sure I hadn't done that one upside down. Because, you know, I've done that a lot. Whoops. So I've got those on there, and I want to put that red trim on the very bottom. And it sure doesn't hang out the bottom very well. There we go, just a little bit. Actually needs to come down more. Honeybee is over there snoring away. I took away his rawhide bone, because if I let him, he'll sit there and he'll chew up the entire thing. So he got half of it down before I got it away from him. And I have to trick him. I have to give him a treat, like a couple of Frito chips or something, to distract him while I grab the bag, while I grab the bone. He's a smart little boy. That's one of the reasons I kept him, instead of trying to rehome him somewhere when he showed up, is because he was a very smart doggy. Very smart. Most beagles usually are very smart animals. Okay, so there's that. There's that. And then we need to come back in with dimensionals again. And once again, I'm going to use my small ones right here. And I'm just going to put two relatively close to the center. Just like that. And, whoops, let's see if we can center that a little bit better. Y'all know centering things is not my strong suit. Right there. Get it in a spot and hold it with my fingertip so I can come back and do that. And there's our first card. Now let's see how much time I wasted. 18 minutes to do the first card. Gotcha. Now they did take string and go around the top of the cherry, and I just don't see the point in that, and that's okay. You don't have to do these cards exactly the way they say. It's okay. So I will be back tomorrow. We are going to kick off our challenge for the month, our color challenge for the month. Tomorrow with our first tag that I'm going to be using in the journal. I'm in the mood to make a journal, and Thursday Wednesday I will show you what all I'm going to be using to make the journal for this month. But using these color pieces, I'm going to come back tomorrow for Tag Tuesday, and I hope you'll join me. Remember to like, to share, subscribe, and if there's anything in particular you want to see, make sure you tell me down in the comments below. And I will see you back here tomorrow. Creative blessings.